What's up, boys? It's Curtis Dondino, and today we're back with another video. Now, this one is going to be a little controversial, only in the sense that whenever you're talking about something you don't like, I mean, don't we got enough negativity on the internet? But this is what I do. I discuss shoes. So today we're going to be discussing the Amiri MA-1s. Sound familiar? MA-1s, AF1. Alright, maybe that's a reach. Alright, so they come in 3 colorways and they retail for $7.90. Now, Amiri, I feel like they have a lot of cool shoes, but I feel like every shoe that I like the most is usually like a reference of another shoe. For instance, the skeleton ones. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so I just gotta be honest. I do not like these shoes, and I know we're about to see so many of them, and I'm gonna explain why. First off, right? If you look at any of my recent videos, Dior just dropped the skate shoe. Louis Vuitton just dropped the skate shoe. Amiri's, I feel like this is a mix. Okay, I feel like Amiri now has a very urban market, right? And I'm not sure if that's the entire demographic, but I feel like that's what I see a lot of, especially with the louder pieces, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the stuff is so loud and it isn't necessarily like on trend. It's more like the stuff that I see people wearing, by the way, not, because when you look at their collections, they be having some shit. Honestly, Mike Amiri probably needs to be hired at Gucci for menswear. I just feel like a lot of the stuff would be regurgitated, but that's fine, because what in fashion isn't? You know what I'm saying? And his aesthetic is strong, and I genuinely like the clothes. But I feel like this is their answer to the skate shoe, but one that's more urban and less fashion. The reason I say that is because, one, we have the chunky sole, we got the wideness, right? But it almost looks like a cross of a Jordan 4, a Louis Vuitton Jordan 4. It has the Lanvin strings, the Lanvin tongue, like, but the Air Force, like this is the Air Force toe. And I feel like they just picked up on a lot of stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, because creativity is often at its peak when you collaborating. But I feel like in a world where like everything is so expensive, if you buying, you know, shoes for $7.90 right now, which don't get me wrong is a fair price for shoes, because that's pretty much half the price of pretty much every other designer shoe right now, right? But one, I hate the logo on the side. I feel, and I don't hate the Mike Amiri AM or MA or whatever, right? But I feel like, if you look at the Louis Vuitton skate shoe, they did the flower and like, you know, the simple flower, and it was so smooth. They could have did LV and people still would have ate them up. But the flower was just pure poetic justice, because it's like, you want people to know, but you don't want shit to be so loud that it's like, now you don't want to wear like, you know, just some sweats or some Adidas pants, because just theoretically, because you got a big LV on the side of your shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, right, if you just got on like some track pants and a hoodie and you just put on some Balenciagas, it's like, it can go. These, you're really not gonna have too much flexibility with. Like, you might as well just get some Amiris in a shirt. And even though theoretically you don't have to, I'm just not a fan of the sneaker. I feel like it looks like a generic sneaker. Like, if this was something that Ruigi did for, or Ruigi for Zara, for the RHU redesign and human uniform, I would have been like, oh, okay, that's cool. I could do me a little Zara $300 tennis, you know? But that's another story. So then we got the tan colorway. And it's just, the colorways are classic Louis Vuitton colorways. Like, they'll always do a, we'll look, I'm gonna show y'all. But it's definitely like a hybrid of a lot of other shoes. I want to see what's on the tongue. Let's say something on the tongue. Engineered in Los Angeles, California. Inspired by precious memories for the young and the young at heart. Quality sporting goods. Amiri. See, like, even that kind of, you know, like he told on himself, inspired by memories. We see the memories. We see the skate shoestrings. We see the skate tongue. We see the Air Force toe mixed with kind of like a one toe. It's a lot of different, you know, calls on here. Personally though, the quality looks cool, but I'm just not too much of a fan of the design. And then it's like black and nude colorway is probably my least favorite of the 3. No, I take that back. The tan ones are probably my least favorite of the three. And I know it's like, why am I sharing my opinion on this? Why should you care about what I'm saying? I just think that it's my job as a YouTuber, and you know, that's what I do. I feel like we have to continuously talk about making smart purchases, because I've watched, after 2020, when everybody got all the free money, I watched everybody. I seen Rainbow Girls start making posts like, who got this size in shark boots? And it's like, damn, she getting some $3,000 shark boot? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Elevation is cool. Elevation is great. But there's a lot to say in reference to lifestyle, and more importantly, how we all are dealing with inflation right now, right? Everybody's rent is higher. Everyone's food is higher. And the reason why I'm mentioning these things is because these are things that are universal. Like, rent is higher, food is higher, gas is higher. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you pay attention to your funds, you'll just kind of be upset by it. Rent is something that, you know, we always see going up, but it's like what we're getting for the prices aren't matching. Food costs, I mean, it's the same fucking food. But I do get, after COVID, a lot of lifestyle changes. People kind of started living, at least visually, better lives. And as a result of that, right, now we have people that are interested in purchasing, you know, designer stuff more than ever before. Because of that, right, a lot of things happen. But we'll get into that in another video if y'all really care. Like, how that money and that inflated lifestyle that a lot of people had kind of killed a lot of third-party, small brands, small businesses. We'll talk about that. But before we get there, I want to get back to the topic at hand. Smart purchases. There's no need for you to buy an $800 shoe that you will not wear in a year, that you will not be able to make money off of, possibly, because it will be on sale at one of the stockists in 3 to 4 months. I'm just being honest, right? Because of that. So for instance, if you buy the Dior skate shoe, they're limited in number. They literally made 400 and some pairs of the quilted ones, and then they made like 800 pairs of like each iteration of the non-quilted ones. When I tell you, that to me made the shoe worth it, even though the shoe is doubled and damn near tripled the price. Well, because one is $2,100 and one is $1,600. My point is just that you want to make smart purchases, because if a shoe is limited and it's $2,100 and it's Dior and it was on a runway and it's a collaboration with another emerging designer, you already know that it's gonna sell out, and then after it sells out, the resale value is going to be crazy. And if you're more like me, who just wants to hoard all of your stuff, then your collection is going to be crazy, because somebody's going to say, oh my god, you got these limited edition Dior's. Because you can have 5 pair of B22s in every colorway, and then 2 pair of B30s and all of that, right? And all of the stuff will go out of style, everything will fall out of the trend cycle. You'll still have your favorites, right? Because you got your own identity. You watch my videos, I know you got your own identity. But here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. Whether those Dior skate shoes go out of style or not, you can put them motherfuckers in a frame or a case. This is a limited edition. There's not much that's limited now. Everything's about money. Everything's about mass consumption. There's no reason why you should know more than 20 people. Like, it's one thing to see across your Instagram, across the states, people with the same stuff. But there's no reason why people in your circle, in your go out circle that you follow and your followers follow, why do we all have the same shoes? Why are that many in that color? You shouldn't be able to get my color if you get it a year after me. And that's how I feel. And people talk about gatekeeping and exclusivity and classism and capitalism, but you have to talk about art when you mention this stuff, because the integrity dies sometimes when things become too accessible. And this is advice, by the way, for brands that can afford to make 20 collections a year, or to not have to make $1 million. Y'all get what I'm saying. Small brands, if you can sell 1,000 pieces, sell 1,000 pieces, because building your name is going to take many years in terms of how these fashion houses and fashion staple houses have built their name. So Dior, whether they make 800 shoes or 8,000 shoes, right, realistically it does not matter, because either way they'll make the money. My point is just, you don't want these Amiri MA-1s. Let me tell you why. If you look at their stadium lows, which is like their basic Saint Laurent looking like slip-on type tie-up sneaker, but with a thicker sole. To me, those shoes look like Aldo's shoes. The only, like, then they're like Converse-y, Ricky Owens-y looking shoes, MA Court Highs. Not a fan. Like, Amiri is literally like a dope menswear brand, right? But the shoes, they really need to bring somebody on for shoe design. If y'all need to hire somebody, hire me or one of the many thousand graphic designers on Instagram that be coming up with them shoe concepts. I want to do a video on shoe concepts that I wish was real. That's not real. First off, we're going to talk about Mr. Bailey's Adidas that's just will not come out. But in the meantime, I did want to also reference that they kind of like, you know, $790, bro. $790. $790. The scale top lows is $590. That's a hot looking shoe. It's a looking shoe. Can't get the ones they sold out. You want the bread colorway, you can go get the Amiri scale top lows. My point is just stay away from the Amiri MA-1s. Don't let Instagram fool you. I've seen a lot of people buy them. They look nice in them, but I cannot unsee the ugliness of the shoe. Boss Dons, I hope you guys appreciated this video. I just wanted to come here and share my quick, brief opinion. I know I kind of ramble, but that's just my style of video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But more importantly, comment what you think. Let me know that I'm wrong. Tell me, like, bro, you have horrible taste. You buy anything, and you're telling us about some pretty simple shoes. Yeah, but all right, Boss Dons. Stay untouchable. Godspeed.